Hello dear students or friends, welcome back to Rahul English study. Now we discuss previous year questions on William Wordsworth today. तो फ्रेंड्स आज नेक्स्ट प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पे डिस्कस करेंगे जो कि आपके एग्ज़ाम के लिए बेनिफिशियल होंगे। तो फ्रेंड्स समय को ना वेस्ट करते हुए शुरू करते हैं। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स ऑन द प्रील्यूड बाय विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ इज आर नॉट ट्रू। तो ये फ्रेंड्स स्टेटमेंट है, इनमें स्टेटमेंट है कौन सा स्टेटमेंट रॉन्ग है, कौन सा सही है। तो इसका आंसर करना है। द प्रील्यूड वाज पब्लिश्ड पोस्टहुमसली, करेक्ट है, ये भी करेक्ट है। इन दिस पोएम वर्ड्सवर्थ रिकॉर्ड्स हिज डेवलपमेंट एज ए पोइट, ये भी करेक्ट है। द पोएम रन्स टू 14 बुक्स एट क्रूशियल स्टेजेस। द पोइट celebrates the sublime natural scenery in developing his spiritual, moral and imaginative nature, ये भी करेक्ट है। सी भी करेक्ट है और बी भी करेक्ट है और ए भी करेक्ट है। नेक्स्ट ऑप्शन है पोएम्स लाइक माइकल, द ओल्ड कम्बरलैंड बैगर, She dwelt among the untrodden ways, Newting, etc. are the highlights of this volume. तो फ्रेंड्स ये D is not true, D is not true, ये करेक्ट नहीं है। तो इसका ऑप्शन देख लेते हैं, कोडिंग में है ये। तो ऑप्शन डी इज नॉट ट्रू, तो द ऑप्शन सी इज करेक्ट। ऑप्शन सी सही होगा, यानी कि इसका डी ऑप्शन, ये डी ऑप्शन इनकरेक्ट है। डी ऑप्शन इनकरेक्ट है, इसको लिख दे इज नॉट ट्रू, इज नॉट ट्रू। सो द ऑप्शन कोडिंग का, सो द ऑप्शन सी इज करेक्ट होगा। ऑप्शन सी इज करेक्ट होगा, डी इज नॉट ट्रू। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स अबाउट द लिरिकल बैलेट्स इज नॉट ट्रू। कौन सा स्टेटमेंट ट्रू नहीं है। तो क्या होगा इसका आंसर। इसका आंसर होगा, इसका आंसर करेंगे फ्रेंड्स, इसका आंसर क्या होगा। तो आंसर इज इट इज आल्सो प्रिंटेड फ्रॉम ग्रेज एलैजी रिटन इन अ कंट्री चर्चयार्ड। सो द ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट। ग्रेज एलैजी रिटन इन ए चर्चयार्ड वाज पब्लिश्ड इन 1751 and not in lyrical ballads 1798. So the option D is correct. Next question. For nature then, the cursor pleasures of my voice days and their glad animal movements all gone by to me was all in all. In these lines from Tintin Abbey revisited, Wordsworth is talking about। तो फ्रेंड्स इसका आंसर क्या होगा, ऑप्शन देखते हैं। इसका आंसर क्या होगा। तो इसका आंसर होगा was the first and second stages in his relationship with nature. So the option C is correct. Any Eber lines from the poem Tinton Abbey revisited. Wordsworth is talking about both the first and second stages in his relationship with nature. So the option C is correct. Next question. Next question is, William Wordsworth had a deep influence on Thomas Hardy. According to Hardy, a particular poem by Wordsworth was his best cure for despair. Which is that poem? तो इसका आंसर क्या होगा फ्रेंड्स? तो वर्ड्सवर्थ रिजोल्यूशन एंड इंडिपेंडेंस पब्लिश्ड इन 1807. In poem in 2 volumes, was originally written in 1802 under the title The Leech Gatherer, which latter had deep influence on Thomas Hardy. Leech gatherer means who collect leeches. So the option D is correct. The leech gatherer. Option D is correct. Next question. Identify the sonnet upon sonnet by William Wordsworth. Sonnet upon sonnet आइडेंटिफाई करना है. तो क्या होगा इसका आंसर? Answer is none. Nuns fret not at their convent's narrow room. So the option D is correct. Next question. It is a sonnet upon sonnet. Next question. William Wordsworth's statement of purpose in publishing the lyrical ballads carries the following phrase. Complete the phrase correctly. To choose incidents from common life and to relate or describe them throughout as far as possible. तो इसका क्या होगा आंसर? तो इसका आंसर होगा as far as possible is as far as possible in a selection of language really used by common men. So the option C is correct. Sorry. So the in a selection of language really used by men. So the option B is correct. Next question. The prelude, although began as early as 1799 and finished in its first version in 1805, was not published unit. तो क्या होगा आंसर इसका फ्रेंड्स? तो इसका आंसर होगा, आंसर इज 1850. ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट. Wordsworth prelude was begun in 1799 but could only be published after his death in 1850 by his wife by his wife. So the option D is correct. Next question. In Wordsworth Prelude, the boy of Winander in affected by. तो क्या होगा आंसर इसका? In Wordsworth the Prelude 1805 to 50, the boy of Winander is affected by muteness. So the option C is correct. Option C is correct. Next question. Which British university figures in William Wordsworth the Prelude? तो क्या होगा आंसर इसका? आंसर इज कैम्ब्रिज. ऑप्शन सी इज करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Wordsworth comes out of a mood of despondency in his poem Resolution and Independence by interacting with a. इसका आंसर करेंगे फ्रेंड्स. क्या होगा आंसर? तो आंसर इज लीज गैदरर. ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Next question. That poetry should portray the naked and native dignity of man was pronounced by. क्या होगा इसका आंसर? आंसर इज that poetry should portray the naked and native dignity of man was pronounced by William Wordsworth. So the option C is correct. Next question. Where exactly did Wordsworth first espy the 10,000 daffodils mentioned in his poem Daffodils? तो क्या होगा इसका आंसर करेंगे. आंसर इज beside the lake beneath the trees. Beside the lake beneath the trees. Wordsworth first espied the 10,000 daffodils mentioned in his poem Daffodils. So the option C is correct. Beside the lake beneath the tree. So the option C is correct. Next question. When according to Wordsworth do the daffodils flash upon his inward eye? क्या होगा आंसर? इसका आंसर करेंगे फ्रेंड्स. आंसर इज अकॉर्डिंग टू वर्ड्सवर्थ when he is in a vacant and pensive mood, then daffodils flash upon his inward eye. So the option B is correct. And when he is in a vacant and pensive mood, so the option B is correct. Next question. Next question. They flash upon the inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. What in Wordsworth's poem Daffodils flashes upon the inward eye? क्या होगा आंसर इसका? आंसर इज ऑप्शन the daffodils. Option D is correct. The daffodils. So daffodils flashes upon the inward eye, The poem was written in the year 1802. 1802. It was first published poem in 2 volumes. 1807. Any poems in 2 volumes in 1807. Next. So the option D is correct. Next question. Poetry is emotion recollected in tranquility was said by. Poetry is emotion recollected in tranquility was said by. The poetry is emotion recollected in tranquility is a famous definition of poetry by William Wordsworth. So the option A is correct. Next question. Next question is poetry. Poetry sheds no tears, such as angels weep, but natural and human tears are lines by. तो क्या होगा आंसर? Poetry sheds no tears, such as angels weep, but natural and human tears are lines by William Wordsworth. Preface to lyrical ballads. So the option A is correct. Option A is correct. Next question. William Wordsworth was born on. William Wordsworth was born on 7 of April 1770. William Wordsworth was born on 7th April 1770. Cockermouth in Cumberland. So the option B is correct. Next question. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding William Wordsworth's most famous poem, The Solitary Reaper? क्या होगा आंसर इसका? The Solitary Reaper was written in November 1805. 1805. November 1805 and published 1807. Published 1807 in the collection poem in the 2 volume. So the option C is correct. This poem is based on William Wordsworth's one experience. So the option C is correct. Next question. Wordsworth compares the sketch of daffodils in his poem Daffodils to. तो क्या होगा इसका आंसर? Wordsworth compares the stress of daffodils in his poem Daffodils 1807 to the thinking of stars in the Milky Way. To the option the twinkling of stars in the Milky Way. So the option A is correct. Next question. Wordsworth recollects the daffodils in. Wordsworth recollects the daffodils in. क्या होगा आंसर इसका? What will be answer? The Wordsworth recollects the daffodils in vacant and pensive mood. So the option B is correct. Pensive mood. Option B is correct. Next question. Wordsworth has described various stages of his association with nature. In which stage did he hear the still sad music of humanity? तो क्या होगा आंसर इसका फ्रेंड्स? तो वर्ड्सवर्थ hears the still sad music of humanity in the final stage in Tintin Abbey 1798. In the final stage in Tintin Abbey 1798. So the option C is correct. Final stage. So the option C is correct. Next question. How many daffodils did the poet see at a glance? How many daffodils did the poet see at a glance? The daffodils first published in 1807. The daffodils published in 1807 in the poem in 2 volumes is considered Wordsworth's finest poem. So the option 10,000. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their hats in sprightly dance. So the option A is correct. 10,000. Option A is correct. Next question. Where did the poet see the daffodils? Where did the poet see the daffodils? क्या होगा आंसर? Answer is option C. Along the margin of bay. Along the margin of bay. So the option C is correct. Next question. It is clear that the poet saw daffodils along the way. So the option C is correct. So the option C is correct. Next question. Next question. What were the daffodils doing? What were the daffodils doing? क्या होगा आंसर? Tossing their hats in slightly dance. So the option tossing their hats in sprightly. Tossing their hats in sprightly dance. So the option D is correct. Next question. Who said there is no essential difference between the language of prose and that of the metrical composition? क्या होगा आंसर फ्रेंड्स? क्या होगा आंसर डियर? Answer is William Wordsworth in his famous preface to the lyric ballads enunciated his theories of poetry. He said that there is not can be any essential difference between the language of prose and verse. So the option A is correct. Wordsworth. So the option A is correct. Next question. Lyrical ballads. The lyrical ballads were better appreciated in America than in England. The first edition published in America in year. The lyrical ballads with a few other poems is collection of poems by William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge, first published in 1798. First published in 1798 and generally considered to have marked the beginning of English Romantic movement in literature. Second edition came in 1800. Second edition came in 1800. Another edition was published 1802. So the option A is correct. Option A is correct. Next question. 1798. So the option A is correct. Next question. When was Wordsworth laureated? When was Wordsworth laureated? ये TGT झारखंड और PGT में आया है 201 में। क्वेश्चन है झारखंड का, PGT में 17 आया है, 17 PGT 17 में 2017 में आया है। तो क्या होगा आंसर इसका? तो आंसर इज 1843। आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ साउदे इन 1843 Wordsworth became the poet laureate. So the option C is correct. Next question. Next question. Nature never did betray the heart that loves her. These lines exist in. क्या होगा आंसर फ्रेंड्स? इसका आंसर होगा टिंटन एबे। ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Who considered Wordsworth as a high priest of nature? क्या होगा आंसर? तो आंसर है डी क्वेंसी। ऑप्शन ए इज करेक्ट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Wordsworth and Coleridge published lyric ballads in 1798. Option B is correct. Next question. Who is known as the poets of the lakes? Who is known as the poet of lakes? Options क्या होगा? Wordsworth. Option C is correct. Next question. How many parts are there in the prelude? How many parts are there in the prelude? Option 14. Option C is correct. Next question. Who is writer of Recluse? Who is the writer of Recluse? Wordsworth, William Wordsworth. So the option D is correct. In which year the prelude was published? In which year the prelude was published? 1850. So the option B is correct. 1850. So the option B is correct. Next question. After his death by his wife, जो कि उनके वाइफ के द्वारा पब्लिश की गई थी। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, चूज द करेक्ट हु इज द राइटर डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्केसेस? हु इज द राइटर डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्केसेस? तो क्या होगा आंसर? इसका होगा आंसर, तो आंसर इस क्या होगा? वर्ड्सवर्थ, विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ। सो द ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. चूज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. One impulse from a verbal wood. The above lines has been quoted from. क्या होगा आंसर? आंसर क्या होगा फ्रेंड्स? तो इसका आंसर होगा lines on of impulses from the verbal wood have been quoted from William Wordsworth. The tables turned, so the option A is correct. Next question. Who has written Ruth? Who has written Ruth? So the option William Wordsworth. So the option D is correct. Ruth is a poem by William Wordsworth. So the option D is correct. Next question. Wordsworth has expressed his views on transmigration of the soul in his poem. तो क्या होगा इसका आंसर? तो आंसर इज ओड ऑन द imitations of immortality. So the option D is correct. Next question. Who has written Paterbell among the following? Who has written the Paterbell? Who has written Paterbell among the following? William Wordsworth. So the option A is correct. Paterbell is a long narrative poem by William Wordsworth written in 1798, but not published unit until 1819. Next, so the option A is correct. Next question. Where was Wordsworth born? Where was Wordsworth born? So Wordsworth born 7 April 1770 at Cockermouth. So the option B is correct. Next question. Choose the correct option. Little we see in nature that is ours. The above lines has been quoted from. Option. The world is too much with us. So the option B is correct. Next question. The still sad music of humanity, in which poem of William Wordsworth does this line occur? This line occur. So these lines occurs lines written a few miles above Tinton Abbey. So the option C is correct. Next question. The 2 April mornings. The 2 April mornings is a poem by William Wordsworth. So the option C is correct. The poet of the famous poem Daffodils is Wordsworth, William Wordsworth. So the option D is correct. Who is the another of lyrical? Who is the another of lyrical ballads? तो इसका आंसर क्या? विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ. ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. The true commencement of Wordsworth's poetic career was from 1797 to 1798. So the option C is correct. Wordsworth lived for 50 years among the Cumberland Dalesman. So the option A is correct. Next question. One of the following is not by Wordsworth. तो क्या होगा आंसर? वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट वर्ड्सवर्थ. द मे क्वीन. The May Queen is not written by Wordsworth, whereas Michael is a poem composed, published in 1800. So the option D is correct. Next question. Wordsworth learned that verse may build a princely throne on humble truth from. का आंसर करेंगे, क्या होगा फ्रेंड्स आंसर? आंसर इज रॉबर्ट बर्न. ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. In his quest for true significance of life in its simpler levels, Wordsworth resembles. क्या होगा आंसर? का आंसर होगा, आंसर इज जॉर्ज ग्रेविल. जॉर्ज ग्रेविल. सो द ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट. तो फ्रेंड्स, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. The excursion dated 1814 marks the beginning of. क्या होगा आंसर? आंसर इज the decline of Wordsworth poetic genius. Option B is correct. Next question. The verse lines. She gave me eyes, she gave me ears, and humble cares and delicate fears were in reference to. तो क्या होगा आंसर? तो डोरोथी वर्ड्सवर्थ. So the option C is correct. Next question. The prelude was written in. The prelude was written in 1805. So the option B is correct. Next question. William Wordsworth was in 1791 in France, where he was witness to the middle stages of. तो क्या होगा आंसर? आंसर इज द फ्रेंच रिवॉल्यूशन. सो द ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. हु सेड मिल्टन thou shouldst be living at this hour? Wordsworth. So the option B is correct. Next question. Who called Wordsworth the egotistical sublime? क्या होगा आंसर? तो आंसर इज कीट्स. सो द ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट. For a handful of silver he left us. This line of Browning has a reference to. क्या होगा आंसर? तो इसका आंसर होगा फ्रेंड्स वर्ड्सवर्थ. ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ड्यूरिंग हिज विजिट टू फ्रांस, Wordsworth fell in love with a girl named. तो गर्ल नेम क्या है? तो फ्रेंड्स एनिटी वैलोन. So the option C is correct. Next question. Every great poet is a teacher, are the words of ऑप्शन वर्ड्सवर्थ। तो ये वर्ड्स किनके थे? वर्ड्सवर्थ के थे। सो द ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, हु हैज सेड इट? हु said it? One impulse from a verbal wood may teach us more of man, of moral evil and of good than all the stages can. तो क्या होगा आंसर? आंसर होगा फ्रेंड्स, इसका आंसर क्या होगा? आंसर इज Wordsworth. These lines are said by William Wordsworth in the Tableton. So the option the tables turned. So the option D is correct. Wordsworth. So the option D is correct. So friends, ये अबाउट 60 क्वेश्चंस हो गए हैं जो प्रीवियस ईयर के हैं, जिनमें TGT, PGT एंड अदर एग्जाम के रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस इंक्लूड हैं। तो फ्रेंड्स, यदि आपको वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो वीडियो को लाइक करें और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, अधिक से अधिक सपोर्ट करें। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग द वीडियो। फिर मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए नमस्कार।